In today's video, we're going to take a bit of a focus on how certain countries are trying to legalize responsible adult use or recreational cannabis, not specifically for medical use. So in this regard, there's been quite a few debates that have been going back and forth. And today I want to highlight a few references that are talking about this inter se modification around cannabis. And essentially what this would allow is for countries, even though they're members of the UN conventions, that they could potentially form some kind of mutually recognized agreement amongst themselves to participate in a legal trade of adult use cannabis. And in this regard, there's a great article specifically on inter se modification of the UN Drug Control Conventions. And this inter se is based on Article 41 of the Vienna Convention on Laws of Treaties. And it provides a potential framework for how countries could look at forming collaborations amongst themselves, yet still not being in violation of the single convention on narcotic drugs. Now, if anyone doesn't know, the INCB is the International Narcotic Control Board that has put a lot of pressure on countries like Canada who've been in violation of the standards or the conventions from 1961, 71, as well as 88. And here's a good example of where their legislation going for responsible adult use access, not just for strictly medical or scientific purposes, has put them into contravention. And we've seen recently as well Thailand completely in some regards going in contravention as well with the UN policy. So this is going to most likely continue to happen, and especially with Germany looking to go to responsible adult use, Malta looking at that, Luxembourg, other countries, the Netherlands. This is going to be a constant fight. So how can you potentially solve it? Well, there's a caveat around this inter se point, and its basic potential use could be that it could allow for this coalition of countries to participate in trade for adult use. The overriding theme, however, is they would still need to demonstrate a commitment to the overall treaty aims, which is to promote the health and welfare of humankind. Now, this is a bit challenging. The only example that's kind of been highlighted to this effect was Uruguay, where they specifically made a case for this. There's also some other examples of people having looked at trying this. But I'm going to go to the likely challenges here with inter se, and there's a bit of a legal unpacking to be done, and I would encourage you to have a look at the slide on references. But essentially, there's that argument that this could not be applied retroactively because this came into effect in 1980, and the single convention dates back to 1961. However, there's certain counter arguments, and there's also this overriding theme that these countries, even though they might strike an agreement amongst each other, even if that's well intended and it's in the intent of promoting health and welfare, it could still be in violation of other countries that are being impacted indirectly because of things like cannatourism in and out of the region, where maybe someone from a member state of the UN goes to that region, they come back with cannabis, and that's a clear violation of the single convention. Now, this is just a brief summary, and the point here is to create awareness about this inter se modification. If you really want to dig into this more, and I'm still in the process of digging into it a lot more, there's a fantastic article on inter se modification referenced here. There's also the Hanway Associates report on European recreational market implementation. That was published in April of this year. Great read, not just only for this aspect on inter se, but across the spectrum. And then recently as well, the Portuguese Medical Cannabis Convention or event that took place, Alfredo Pascual spoke very well to multiple aspects of international law related to not just inter se, but like ascension and coming back into member states within the UN with making certain amendments. So please have a look at this, but hope you enjoyed this just to create more awareness. And hopefully I'll see more content out there on inter se. And if I can get a subject matter expert on, that'd be a first prize. So reach out to me if you are one of those individuals.